How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Nerdy Basement Podcast. We are your hosts. I am the OG Osmosis, or just simply Ozzy. And as always,
What's going on, everybody? It's Eddie.
It's your boy Boozer.
and we are back after a couple weeks off. A couple weeks on. I think it was more than a couple weeks, but we were off for a couple weeks. We had some things going on, some film festivals to cover. We had some interviews that we had to drop and take care of. Hurricanes to kind of work around. So a lot has been going on here at the Nerdy Basement, but we are back to talk some more She-Hulk discourse, because there is some fun here to talk about and some not so fun things to talk about. We're going to be talking about the first 4 episodes of Andor, which have been a blast for those who have been enjoying it. And there's a lot of news that we're going to cover in this episode, but we're going to save that for the tail end of the episode. We're going to do things a little different this time around. Let's get into She-Hulk. I have not watched the recent episode because obviously, as we were saying off air, I got caught up today. It's been a busy week, but you guys have both watched it. So let me know what you guys think about this week's episode of She-Hulk.
After you, Boozer, go for
it. Sure, yeah. I enjoyed it. It was a funsies episode. A little sad at times. It starts. Miss Jen had kicked it off with what was his name? What was homie's name?
Oh, Josh.
Josh. They kicked it off together. They really had a good time. They started going on some more dates. They went a little further.
Okay, nice.
Further, and then she woke up and he was gone. Real sad.
Yep.
Real sad.
that was expected.
yeah.
But
and
in
then
this sense of
she sent kind of like a "Hey, I had such a great time" kind of text, and then got ghosted, and then she was really panicky about it, and then there was a glitch in Mr. Abomination's sensor, his little at-home detention sensor, and so she had to go with his parole officer to basically his little resort, little commune, which I was curious how that was gonna. Which is amazing, but
I'm just like, besides no Wi-Fi, I'm like, that place was gorgeous. I was like, that's the type of land I need.
So that's how the criminals get treated in the MCU, huh?
Yeah. So apparently, I guess when you have a bunch of wives, right? But apparently, it really was a glitch. Possibly, it doesn't seem like there's any mystery there. Apparently, his favorite chicken got out and he got shocked by an electric fence. And it messed with the sensor. So that got fixed. She didn't. Then there was a fight between other people learning in his commune that destroyed Jen's car. So she got stuck there, no Wi-Fi, waiting for that text. And there was just a lot of shenanigans between a lot of these random other Marvel characters like Mr. Porcupine and Minotaur Man and. I don't know the guy with the sword. What was his name?
No, it's Manbull.
Manbull.
And then it was, I want to say he was a swashbuckler, but he was.
He called himself a swashbuckler, but that wasn't his name.
His name is Aguila or something like that.
It was like Aguila or something.
Something like that.
So definitely interesting. A bunch of characters, and I was actually surprised how enjoyable that was. That the banter and apparently, what is Abomination's real first name? Like the human name?
Polanski.
Polanski.
Yep.
Polanski is actually a very good group manager, like a group facilitator.
I'll let you finish. But
for the most part, it was cheesy, but I enjoyed it, and I just there was just a lot of banter. She was enjoying watching their shenanigans, and then she gets called out, for constantly checking her phone and being testy. One of the guys that jumped her was in this room, which is why she gets up and kind of attacks one of them. They really just slide by that though. Like, I'm surprised they weren't like, why did you attack me?
Yeah. See, I think so. I'm gonna just have to jump in because I think that was the stupidest thing that could have happened. She has a whole tiff about it and all that kind of stuff. But then the one obvious thing that should have been said was, who were you working for?
Yeah, why
was
did you
never said. Like, why were you doing this? And it was just like, okay, funny that you're here. What a coincidence and everything like that. But I'm just going to go. I'm going to have to just like jump in now. Like,
I mean, outside of that, like that was pretty much like I enjoyed the episode.
I think these last two, because I watched them both back to back, like 6 and 7, right? they're just filler episodes to me, and that's fine. I have no issues with filler episodes for the most part, depending on the series and all that kind of stuff. Could I have done without it? Totally. You know what I mean? Like her and Titania having the issue and everything at the wedding, and everything just kind of seems so like mashed together. And when they actually do kind of go with what is the main plot of everything, which is Jen trying to live with being She-Hulk and embrace who Jen Walters is, without saying like, hey, She-Hulk gets all the attention, but Jen doesn't. I think when they actually stay on that path, it works. It's fine. You know what I mean? Because that's the message. You know what I mean? You have to love yourself. You have to understand who you are, and that's fine. I have no issues with that. Now, how everything is just kind of going through the motions and all that kind of stuff, I'm just like, I'm not a fan of it per se. I do love the fun note that people are saying like, oh, there's complaints that we're waiting for the Daredevil cameo. Sure, I am too. I'm like, wow, they definitely waited. They're waiting to the last 2 episodes for Daredevil to show up, and I don't blame them. They want people to watch it. All good. Now, again, with what they do with the villains, that I think is one of my biggest things. Belansky, he was a badass. Literally, for the first episode, is still in jail. He was still the badass from the Incredible Hulk movie. Within minutes, they took their villain and made him a joke. Because I guess that's the only way you survive as a villain when you're in the MCU. You have to become the new joke. That kills me, because it's like, okay, you already made a joke of the Mandarin. You did all that kind of stuff there, right? Now, who was the more recent one besides that? They killed Miss Marvel's mother, but now the boyfriend technically is going to be the next villain, probably for the next one for the next season, I'm sure. And now Belansky is pretty much just another butt of the joke. They already ruined Hulk, so I guess they might as well ruin Abomination for me. And I think that's my biggest issue. It's just like, okay, you just have to become another joke just to be a part of the MCU. And just a lot of little things here and there that are just gripes with me story-wise, but they were fine. These episodes, it is what it is. Even with the new suits, by the way, that she got created for herself, the CGI when she's fully suited up in the daytime is so hard to look at. It hurts.
It's not so hard for me to look at, but it is way more noticeable at night.
Yeah,
I mean in the morning.
In the morning time, and that just kills me. But besides that, again, it's like when they stick on the path, it's fine. My gripes are completely like superficial. Obviously, it's like, okay, these are funny haha moments and so on and so forth. But, I could have really just done without them. The only big deal was when they showed that Josh is a part of this whole thing and our thing for getting the blood. Now, did he get the blood?
Josh got the blood, and that's why he left.
That's why he actually ghosted her.
Because he got it while she was in human form, probably when she was sleeping.
Yeah, and then copied her whole phone of contacts and all that kind of stuff. So that was like obviously
had
shady.
To be Josh, bro.
Yeah,
had to be Josh.
She should have felt some type of way when Josh actually was interested in Jen, and that was one of the saddest parts of it, is that he was interested into Jen and not interested in She-Hulk. So that's why it was such a big deal to her and all that kind of stuff. But that's all I really got to say. Again, like my biggest issues are from the villain stuff, and it's. And then certain story plot holes and shit. It's just like, it's dumb. Like I think these were just filler episodes for me. I hope next episode kind of just like gets back on track and we kind of get something new.
The next episode is the penultimate episode, so we only had 2 more episodes left. So
at least Daredevil the next one.
Yeah, that's the formula with these Disney Plus shows at this point. It's like, okay, we'll give you 2 solid episodes, fill you in with 2 episodes, and then we'll kind of rush through everything the last 2 episodes. So given how the last 2 episodes are also 30 minutes each, I'm not sure how much they're gonna squeeze into both episodes.
Wait, so this is ending at 9 episodes?
Yeah, 9 episodes. Yep.
Why would they fucking do that?
So from what I'm assuming, from what I'm assuming is like, I think what Marvel is doing with a lot of these also is like, a lot of these are more bridges into other things as well. Like I'm pretty sure is it confirmed that she's going to be in Captain America? Was that confirmed?
No, that's just speculation for now.
Speculation. I'm assuming they're going to do
the connection there. This is just stuff that's been going on, but they did confirm it Talantia last episode. Obviously, for those who know in the comics, and then based on a little bit of research that I did, because I was not familiar with who Inteligencia was. I'm like, you know what? Let me go do some research, and see and get a little more background as to who they are and what they do in the comics. So the leader ties into Inteligencia. He's a member of that. MODOK is also a member of that. Obviously, we're getting the leader back. He's coming out of Captain America. MODOK is coming out in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So obviously they're building another super villain team to kind of fuck around with the new heroes who are going to be in the forefront. So that will be the big connection there. And obviously all the mutant stuff with, you know, Mr. Immortal and all that extra jazz and more mutant stuff we'll get into later, obviously.
Yeah, and I think I think they're going to do like new Hulks being created.
Oh,
and
definitely.
then in a movie, I think, I don't know whether it be Captain America or another movie, they're going to have to deal with these other Hulks leading around. I think she'll jump into
I'm
possibly
hoping
like a
that
movie
does
or
lead
something
to
like that.
us getting Red Hulk eventually.
Yeah,
I don't know how they're
and
gonna
I think that would.
I mean, we have a little tidbit there. We'll talk about it later, but I don't know how they're gonna work around that since, you know, Thunderbolt Ross, the actor, William Hurt did pass away last year.
Yep.
And then we never got his daughter. You know, Betty Ross hasn't been in the MCU since the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
And she becomes the Red She-Hulk. So it's like I don't really know what they're gonna do with that. But I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm not they can
and
only
I think
go so
that's
far
kind
with
of
cameos and Daredevil.
If they go that route, I think that's also kind of why they changed up with like making Abomination. At this moment, I don't think he's gonna have some evil switch. But like, who knows?
I don't
maybe
think so
he'll come to help She-Hulk with whatever situation. And I know people that want Abomination to be the villain or to be a villain won't like that, but like, I don't mind it. I don't really have an attachment to Abomination. So I don't really mind the changes that they've made personally. I really could care less about like the comic book version or I enjoyed the movie, you know, the past movie. But yeah, I mean, if they made it like he comes in and helps and like, you know, does some beat downs with She-Hulk to some other Hulks, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine Hulk, Abomination, and She-Hulk going up against a bunch of other Hulks?
Well, that's another thing. The show has been focusing a lot on Wong and his cameos. Obviously, heavy teases for Daredevil, who's going to probably be in a huge part of the final 2 episodes. We have not revisited Bruce again since he left the planet to go back to Sakaar. So it's like there's still a lot of plot loose ends that needs to, you know, plot that needs to be kind of, you know, wrapped up and, you know, at least revisited. Not saying you need to close them up by episode 9. You can leave those open and explore those elsewhere. As we mentioned, Inteligencia is going to be tying into a multitude of MCU projects going forward into phase 4, the rest of phase 5 and you know, heading into phase 6. But yeah, there's just some stuff. All I can really hope for when it comes to like the Disney Plus shows, at least for from a Marvel perspective, is that they stick the landing by the end of it.
Yeah.
But not a lot of them stick the landing. Like, yeah, they might be good from start or at the beginning and then kind of fizzle out in the middle, or not start off as strong, but then, you know, grow and be, you know, become a strong story by the halfway point and have a strong landing, i.e. Moon Knight, etc., whatever show, Miss Marvel and stuff like that. But yeah, they don't have a pretty solid track record when it comes to, you know, finales on the Marvel projects on Disney Plus. So I am a little weary on how She-Hulk ends. Listen, whatever. We're gonna get Daredevil. Everybody's waiting for Daredevil. Whoever isn't waiting for Daredevil at this point is, you know, you're lying to yourself. Everybody wants to see Daredevil. But, you know, that's not the end all be all to She-Hulk. I'm just hoping the story.
I'm enjoying the ride.
I'm enjoying it. I mean, I haven't seen this episode, like I said, but what I've seen so far, I've enjoyed. You know, a little shits and gigs. I call them shits and gigs episode. The wedding episode was just shits and gigs. At the end of the day, we're men watching a show that's literally geared towards women. That's essentially what we're doing. I mean, are we gonna like everything? No. Is everything aimed for us? No. But like you said, Boozer, we're just gonna enjoy the ride.
I'm enjoying it.